We are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome back to another Lightsaber Theory. Today's Lightsaber Theory is the 21st one, which is actually a very significant number because, well, I just like the number 21. And of course, the number 21 significance as being a lucky number. So what exactly will we be discussing today? That will be Darth Malgus and eventually his lightsaber. So as read from the in-game codex, Darth Malgus has long been a paradox to his fellow Sith, a staunch proponent of the Empire's superiority who also questions some of its oldest values. Born under the name Varadun in the years before the Empire's return, Malgus distinguished himself during the war as a warrior and general. He was eventually entrusted with securing the Empire's interest on distant worlds where he encountered the soldiers of many alien cultures and found them worthy of respect. As Malgus grew in prominence, fighting at the Battle of Alderaan and later during the sacking of Coruscant, his travels and alliances with aliens, including a relationship with his Twi'lek slave, marked him as an unorthodox figure. Caring nothing for the power plays common to Sith, Darth Malgus has spent the last few years strengthening his ties to alien groups. He has often claimed that the Empire's ancient prejudices against aliens and constant infighting are weaknesses to be victorious. Malgus says the Empire must change. So Malgus was actually born the name Varadun and later nicknamed the False Emperor. He's a male human Sith master of the Sith Empire during the Great Galactic War, Cold War, and the Second Great Galactic War. He was born within Imperial space on Dromund and he was raised by his adopted father. And while he was still young, he killed a Twi'lek servant on his father's estate, revealing the dark side sensitivity that he had, and his father had sent him to the academy on Dromund to become a Sith warrior. He became a commander of Imperial military, and during a trip to the Outer Rim world of Geonosis, Varadun discovered the Twi'lek slave girl Alina Doro and took her as his own. And although she was technically a slave, the two fell in love with one another and fought side by side in many battles during the Great Galactic War against the Galactic Republic. It was later on that he actually got rid of his birth name and he adopted the Sith moniker of Malgus. So, in the beginning, Malgus and his master, Vindican, had led the victorious recapture of the Sith world of Korriban before the former struck down the latter for being injured at the hands of Jedi Master Keo Sendarik at the height of the war. Darth Malgus led a surprise assault on the core world of Alderaan. Though initially successful, Malgus and his forces were defeated in a concentrated Republic counterattack led by his nemesis from Korriban, future Grand Master Satele Shan. The Sith Lord was heavily wounded during the battle and was forced to wear a respirator for the remainder of his life. In 0BTC, the Empire entered the sham peace negotiations with the Republic, which were truthfully nothing more than a distraction from the Sith's true target, the Republic capital of Coruscant. Malgus was chosen by his superior, Darth Angral, to participate in the attack on Coruscant as the leader of a strike team that would invade the Jedi Temple. Malgus had succeeded in killing a substantial number of Jedi defenders, including Jedi Master Ven Zalo, who has been recognized as Malgus's most notable kill before the Sith fleet arrived to lay waste to the rest of the world. By the end of the engagement, the Sith had destroyed the Jedi Temple, killed half of the members of the Jedi Council, and disgraced the Jedi Order in the eyes of the Republic. And although Malgus had been under the impression that the Imperial Armada was going to raise Coruscant and destroy the Republic once and for all, the battle was ultimately used only as leverage in peace negotiations on Alderaan. While the Alderanian summit progressed, the Sith settled into an occupation of Coruscant. Malgus was placed in charge of orbital security, but the Sith Lord defied his orders and traveled back to Coruscant's surface to strike against the renegade Jedi Aaron Lanier, who was targeting Malgus for his murder of Master Ven Zalo. Although Lanier ultimately failed, the conflict caused Malgus to become disillusioned with the Empire and to review his relationship with Daru as a weakness. Thus, he was forced to kill his lover to preserve his own power, which he later used to cleanse the Empire of the politicians whom he blamed for allowing the Republic to survive. During the Cold War years that followed the successful peace negotiations, Malgus led Sith forces into the unknown regions, claiming previously unknown territories for the Empire. Towards the end of the Cold War, following the presumed death of the Sith Emperor, Malgus came to the fore and declared a new empire, one free of the infighting of the Dark Council. However, in time, he was tracked down to a secret base and defeated by a strike team. Malgus was a very prominent character and NPC in Star Wars The Old Republic. So if you have ever played this game, I am sure that you have seen him many times over. He was a very unique individual, to say the least, and eventually he was destroyed. This, however, is usually the fate of all Sith. Star Wars The Old Republic MMORPG is actually still available to play, and you could actually play it for free. I know this is a terrible plug for that game. I wish I could play it myself, but unfortunately my computer just can't handle it, let alone my crappy internet service, which... what more can we say about that? So as far as what form he actually used Form 4 Ataru. Ataru is a very offensive style of lightsaber combat. And like Malgus, his lightsaber was very unique. It was the first one that was ever used by anyone, for that matter. It actually housed a synthetic lightsaber crystal, something that Disney had taken away from the canon when they decided to drop trash all over everything in the Star Wars universe, but I digress. It was very unique in its appearance since it had an axe-like head up on the emitter section. Now, there is actually no circumstances recorded or talked about that had him using it as an axe, but I'm very sure that it probably could have been. Now, as far as owning a lightsaber that looks like Malgus's, there is really only one company to go to: Ultra Sabers. They have a saber on there called the Malice, which is a very, very amazing reproduction of what Malgus' saber should look like. Now, granted, they cannot get it down to every minute detail because they have to make variations or they will be paying royalties to Disney. And like me, I'm pretty sure that they do not want to give any dimes to Disney. Now, of course, I've used Ultra Sabers on many occasions, including the two that I possess myself, but my lightsaber partner, Jacob, he actually has 4 Ultra Sabers himself, and we have used all of them, and they have always held up wonderfully. So, if you were looking to get a Darth Malgus-looking axe-headed saber, Ultra Sabers is the place to go. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And, of course, if you have enjoyed the content, go ahead and destroy that like button for me. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and there's plenty of other content you could check out. You might find something else you really like, and if so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I will catch you all next time. Later, y'all.